It's Aldila Wellness. Every week we chat about a subject that's really close to your heart. And this week's no different. Although it's like people are avoiding the subject. It's like talking about religion. People don't talk about sex. They don't talk about their feelings. They don't talk about what they think, because that's all part of the whole sex experience. It doesn't start by touching someone. It starts like almost the day before, where communication starts and the way you look at someone starts, or saying something. Am I right in saying that?
There's a saying, if you want to be in heaven by 11, you must start at 7.
Beautiful.
Dis oulik, né?
So foreplay is the most important part of
Yes,
this.
and not sexual foreplay, but
Mental.
emotional foreplay. Yes, and it's so interesting. All my clients are very comical and very
Sense
outspoken.
of humor.
Yes, so I have developed an injection that you can come and have once a week called the libido boost. And one of my clients calls it, I want to jump my husband injection. Because it's important for us to understand that a healthy sex life is actually a great contribution to a relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
And a relationship should be built on foundations of trust and mutual respect and values. But after the foundation, when you start building the house of the relationship, the sex is the cement that keeps the
The
house
bricks together.
Yeah. And this was actually told to me by one of my doctors. She's a lady. She's almost 80. She was my doctor for many years, and she is one of the wisest women I know. And when a GP tells you you should have sex often in your relationship because it is the glue that holds everything together, you can take it to heart.
Now, you said something interesting now, and that is she was 80. Now, we all know that from around about 45, 50, things starts going slower.
Yes. Yeah.
And people are not that sexual active anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do one fix that?
So before we go there, I have to put a disclaimer
On this.
on this show. Okay. The practice is not built for people with problems. If you have a heart condition or high blood pressure, or you're on chronic medication, or the other side, you have been abused as a child, or you've had a sexual trauma, I am not talking to that person today saying you should have more sex. These talks are for the general average person that enjoys the sexual act, that has a good relationship, that wants to give it a kick. This is for the woman that has always enjoyed sex, but the last few months she's been too tired to go to bed. It might be for the lady that has always had a good sexual appetite and a good sexual relationship with her partner, but now menopause has started. Or this is for the lady who has always been, I call it the goddess energy. You are a woman that is in tune with your sexual energy, and now you fell pregnant and you've had a baby and you need to come back to yourself. So for me, that is what I refer to in the practice and when I have these talks. A lot of times in the practice, women will say to me, I am tired. So they won't say to me, my husband or my partner is bad in the bedroom. Or they won't say to me, I don't want to be intimate because of my past. They will say to me, ek is moeg. And, enthusiasm is a flame that must burn inside
Constantly.
of the bedroom. From both sides. You don't want to be intimate with your partner and they turn their head until it's finished, or bite on their teeth, or count till 10
Just
and
get
count
it
the
done
dots on
kind
the
of
ceiling.
thing.
That is not what sexual connection is about. And this is why you and I are having this discussion today. I'm going to now preach to the people about enthusiasm in keeping the flame
Burning,
of
yeah.
intimacy alive, because remember, it is the glue of your relationship. And when you have a good sex life and you enjoy a good sex life, there are so many benefits, health benefits.
Tell us about
People
that.
that are sexually active, and I'm talking about a proper sex life here. I'm not talking about taking one for the team and lying there for your partner, letting them enjoy themselves and then carrying on with your life. I'm talking about being sexually empowered and being sexually fulfilled by your partner, and understanding how my body works,
Yeah.
and how can I enjoy this sacred act that is actually very good for me on many levels. So if you have a proper sex life, your immune system is stronger than someone who doesn't have it.
Really?
Yes, your immunity increases. It's been shown that couples who are sexually active and they have a good sex life, they do not get sick as often as people who don't. People that are single versus people who are in committed relationships having a good sex life have been tested and shown that their blood pressure is stabilized, their heart rate is stabilized, they are fitter, they are healthier, and they are happier emotionally.
Endorphins play a part there, doesn't
playing a
it?
part. Endorphins is die goggas in jou bloed wat vir jou kliere blaf. That's what I call it in Afrikaans. So it's important to understand that our bodies are amazing. And just as a woman's body knows how to birth a baby without all of these interferences, the anatomy and the body of a man and a woman has been made to enjoy the sexual act. We must just empower ourselves enough to understand, how does my body work, and does my partner understand my body and what I want, and to put the emotional with the physical, with the spiritual, is actually very rewarding in a relationship.
I think one should also talk about, when pregnant, are we still allowed to have sex?
Of course, you won't fall pregnant when you have sex, when you are pregnant.
But now during the pregnancy, is that allowed? Is that good? Is that, because the perception is there that intercourse might affect the baby.
Yeah. Medically, we have learned that it does not affect the baby. There shouldn't be any discomfort. Physical discomfort, emotional discomfort. Once there is discomfort, the body actually locks anything like that as trauma.
Okay.
And that's why it's important, when you are intimate with a partner, that there is trust and a relationship of communication, where you can say to your partner, I am feeling uncomfortable now with this. I'm feeling uncomfortable with that. The biggest sex organ is the brain.
For
Alles in
sure.
die kop. So it is important that the person you choose to be your mate, your partner, has to be on the same level as you. And we need to change the perception of people, because a lot of people were raised that sex is bad, sex is dirty, sex is taboo. If we can change that perception, we are going to have a lot of change in relationships. It's important to understand that if my belief system about sex is different from the value and belief systems of my partner, I'm going to have trouble. You know, there's a joke where they say, usually there's two people at a braai.
Yeah.
One that wants to go home early and one who wants to stay till last, and those two are usually married.
And that's a problem.
It's exactly the same in your sex life. So when I call the one the pizza oven and the other one the freezer.
Okay.
So when a pizza oven is in a relationship with a freezer, we have got problems. The freezers must go and be with the freezers, and the pizza ovens must go and be with the pizza ovens. But now you come to me as a client and you say to me, I have been married for 2 or 5 or 10 or 20 years. I am a freezer and my husband is a pizza oven. What do? I will not tell you to get divorced. We need to make this work now. So what can I do as your therapist to help you to be more enthusiastic with regards to a healthy sex life?
That's very important, because you touched on earlier, I'm tired.
I'm tired.
So how do we go about, and I think communication's the important part here, because one also needs to consider that now there's a child.
Yes.
The time's limited.
Yes.
Kids need to be looked after, taken to school, sports. So when do you actually get time for each other?
Because that is last on the priority list.
Yeah.
It is, because we have to work so that we can pay the bills. That takes up a lot of energy, your careers. Then, as you say, the children must be seen to, the family unit must be seen to. You need to look after the house, you need to look after yourself. By the time you get to the point where you can be alone with each other, both of you are exhausted for different and various reasons. And that is where the standard operating procedure of risk management comes along, where you have to sit with your partner and say, right, what is causing my tiredness? What is causing me to be tired? How can I address this? How can I look at this? If you have to clean your home the whole day, it is exhausting. Housework is exhausting. So then sitting with your partner and perhaps saying, okay, can we get some domestic help 2 or 3 times a week? You have to go and look at why you are tired. So the libido injection or the libido boost that we give in the practice has made a massive difference in the lives of the male and the female clients. You were touching on something earlier, saying, what if you're a man and you are over 50 and your virility is not the same as it used to be? Maybe you take time to get an erection, and maybe it can't last for so long, and all of that. The injection will support all of that. Safe, reliable, and effective products are used to help you to support the body. The same for the ladies. The enthusiasm, that tiredness gets alleviated by giving you the injection. Obviously, again, you're not going to walk into the practice and just get your injection. You have to come for a consultation. I want to understand, what is the problem.
Yeah.
Is it an emotional issue? Is it a physical issue? Is it a hormonal issue? Is it a lifestyle issue? What is it? And then we can address it, and then many marriages will be saved.
I almost wanted to say, and they will live happily ever after. Like in a fairy tale.
Yeah. We have to understand that I have a mentor. She's a very clever lady. And she calls me Aldiki, and she always says to me, life is actually just about 3 things. Geld, sex, en emosie. Money, sex, and emotion makes the world go round. And if you think about it, she's right. We can take all the problems and all the issues we have in our life, but once we break it down, it just comes down to those 3 things. Your emotions, sexuality, and money. If you don't have money, you worry, that affects your emotions, that affects your sex life.
Is that why billionaires always have the most beautiful girls?
Yes. You are very
it's
funny.
All about the
you
money.
Are very funny. If you worry about money, it affects your sex life and it affects your emotions. If you are emotionally down or you're depressed or you've got trauma or something happened to you, think about it. It affects your sex life and it takes your money. If you don't have a good sex life, emotionally you don't feel good, and then you have to spend your money on stuff to get a sex life. So these 3 things actually go hand in hand. And we have to get to a point where we can empower and educate to say, if nothing serious is going on, I mean, a person on chemotherapy that's going through a cancer journey, I'm not going to tell that person to go and make love every second night. I'm talking about your average, general, healthy person that has a good relationship with their partner, but they just need a little bit of aanmoediging. That's why we're here.
We also spoke about after 50, things starts changing.
Yes.
You get vaginal dryness, you get erectile problems. Now, will this all alleviate those
Yes.
problems?
Again, the injections we spoke about in the previous segment about the V shot, exceptional for incontinence. You know, when you cough
Yeah.
and you
When you cough and you
your
have a
bladder,
leak.
yes, dit is baie mooi gesê, when you cough and you have a leak. So very good for incontinence, excellent for vaginal dryness. As we grow older, our pelvic floor changes. So those who don't do Pilates, and I encourage everyone to do it, we can strengthen the pelvic floor through exercises, but also through these injections. So yes, we can help everybody that needs alleviation of the basic symptoms. You know, from the age of 40, a man and a woman's testosterone levels start to fall and the hormone levels start changing. And we need to see what we can do to manage and support the body through another journey of change. It's not only pregnancy and having a baby that changes your life. As you go into the next phase, again, you need support. It's so interesting. I look at my son now that's 10. I can see he's a preteen. He's becoming a teenager. I can see how I have to support him through the changes his body is going through. It's not easy. Then you are in your childbearing years where you have a baby and your body changes. And now being 42, I can see I'm entering the perimenopause phase. And maybe that's why I'm so passionate about the vajayjays, because having gone through all of these things in life, we really do need help and we really do need support through this process with someone that truly understands and can support you through what you are going through. And it's normal. That's actually just what I want to say to the viewer. Whatever you are going through is normal. There is help and there is support.
The perception also exists that you need to have a medical procedure done where this, as you said, is painless, quick, and results is very good.
Guaranteed.
So how do we go about it? Do we make an appointment first?
Make an appointment. There's
How long before?
I would like you to book for a consult. There's 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, 60-minute consults. In the consultation, you've got a whole questionnaire we fill in. Ek moet agter die kap van die pyl kom, so I want to know exactly what's going on. From there, you'll be placed on a pre-treatment program for a week. I have to get your body right and all of that. And then you can come for your procedure. It's a 30-minute procedure. It's non-invasive. It's painless. It's really not uncomfortable. The only thing you might find uncomfortable is that you have to show me your private parts. And
but then having that relationship is not a problem.
That is why it is important to choose your provider, your service provider, and build a relationship. And it's like I said in one of our other shows, we are not a sausage machine.
Yeah.
I want to get to know my client, understand what it is that you need, and yes, go on a journey together. You asked in a previous segment, how often do we need to do it? After the first treatment, there's already a very big change. So I would say 3 treatments once a month to get the body back into shape. And then from there, maybe once in 6 months for maintenance. Guaranteed results.
I'm sitting here thinking that there's an answer for all the questions right here.
Yes. And if
it's
I don't
amazing.
have an answer, I'll go find.
You'll get one.
I'll go find as an answer because I am built for comfort and not for suffering. We don't need to suffer in today's day and age. There's a lot of help out there. We just need to find the courage to release the shame and the stigma and the issues that we carry with regards to our sexuality.
So next week, we'll be chatting about how does emotional sexuality work. You stay tuned.